Info Plus for genuine information.
Namaste, hello everyone, and Ayubhovan to all our Sri Lankan viewers. Welcome to another episode of Info Plus on Himalaya Television. I'm your host, Rebecca Chetri. Our special segment where we bring you exclusive interviews with distinguished personality from around the world. Today, we have the great honor of hosting His Excellency, the Ambassador of Sri Lanka to Nepal, Air Chief Marshal Pathirana. His Excellency has been a pivotal figure in strengthening the ties between our two nations, and we are delighted to have him here to share his insights on the current state and future prospects of Sri Lanka to Nepal relations. We will be delving into the diplomatic relations between these two nations, exploring cultural exchanges and gaining insights into the ambassador's experiences and perspectives. His Excellency Air Chief Marshal Sudarshana Pathirana was born on December 30, 1965. He is a proud alumnus of Dharmaraja College, Kandy, Sri Lanka, and joined the Sri Lanka Air Force as an officer cadet on 2nd July 1985. Air Chief Marshal Pathirana's passion for flying led him to be trained in basic advanced flying training in Pakistan, India, Israel, and China. His Excellency completed his junior command and staff course in Bangladesh and earned a master's in operational arts and science from Air University in Alabama, United States. During his career in the Air Force, he held many appointments, including commanding officer, flying squadron, base commander, and member of the board of management. He was later appointed as the 18th commander of the Sri Lanka Air Force in 2020 and served in this position until his retirement in 2023. His Excellency is also an avid golfer who previously served as chairman of Sri Lanka Air Force Golf and Athletics. We are delighted to have you all with us today, and we encourage you to stay tuned for this enlightening conversation. Thank you for joining us, and let's begin our interview.
Info Plus for genuine information.
Your Excellency, Namaste and Ayubhovan.
Ayubhovan.
Very nice to meet you on the show Info Plus Himalayan Television.
And first, let me thank you and the crew of Himalayan Television coming here and giving me this opportunity to express myself in your, the TV network. Thank you.
Your Excellency, it's been 7 months you are here in Nepal as an ambassador. Could you please tell us about your background and what led you to the current role as the ambassador of Sri Lanka to Nepal?
It's a very interesting question because I'm not from the diplomatic background. I'm actually basically from the military background. I joined our Sri Lankan military about 40 years ago. And I joined, our services are different. We have 3 services, Army, Navy, Air Force. So I joined the Air Force as a pilot. So I had a career as a fighter pilot for 38 years. And I became the chief of our Air Force, Sri Lanka, and retired last year in the 30th of June, actually. So I'm coming into my first year of the retired life. So after retirement, His Excellency the President of Sri Lanka, he offered me an honorary diplomat appointment. And then he specifically said that I'm going to send you to Nepal because then I was also asked him, why Nepal, why specifically to Nepal, and he was very straight in his decisions and said that Nepal is a very friendly and important strategic partner for us, for Sri Lanka, and I wanted to go and re-establish diplomatic relations and to strengthen our relations between Nepal and Sri Lanka. So that is why I am here today.
How do you see the future of Sri Lanka and Nepal relation in the next few years?
Oh, it's not only next few years. We have diplomatic relations or people-to-people relations thousands years back, and I'm sure it will carry on for another 1,000 and maybe 1,000 plus years forward. So it's talking about few years is not the answer that I'm trying to give you, because Nepal, though it's situated in the Himalayas, though Sri Lanka is situated far south, it's an island in the Indian Ocean, but we do have our cultural and religious connections for many thousands years. And also, if you come into the current geopolitical situation, both countries face the same type of challenges, regional and even globally. So we need to work together, we need to go forward together, we need to understand together, and that is what I am doing right now.
Being a founding member of SHARC and BIMSTEC, Nepal and Sri Lanka have marked 67 successful years of diplomatic relations. As an ambassador of Sri Lanka to Nepal, how do you review the long-term relationship between two countries?
Yeah, Nepal and Sri Lanka are the founding members of SAARC and BIMSTEC. And those are the two major organizations right now we have for our regional cooperation and to handle our regional affairs. So Sri Lanka and Nepal are working together to maintain and to progress through SAARC and BIMSTEC. And the challenges which comes through within the region can be solved within the regional networks or regional agencies like this. So that is exactly what both countries are focusing, and both countries are believing in the regional issues to be handled regionally and to be settled amicably in a very friendly way.
Are there any significant development or initiative taken to strengthen the ties between two countries?
Yes, it's a very good question actually, because we had our first joint commission in the month of December 2023, where our Honorable Foreign Minister, Mr. Ali Sabri, came to Nepal and met his counterpart. And we had a very truthful and a very strong bilateral talks during that time, and it going to happen every year. Alternatively in countries where we can continue to talk to each other and to discuss matters relevant for our bilateral relations and to strengthening our bonds between the two countries. So I'm really glad that it happened last year. It helps me to work forward and to work together to enhance our relationships.
The volume of trade between two countries remain minimal. In spite of signing the bilateral trade agreement as early in April 1979. As Nepal has recently organized an investment summit and welcomed so many foreign investors from around the world to exploit the opportunities in trade and business. How would you like to take this further to strengthen the ties in business in coming days?
Yeah, you are true in what sense, saying that Nepal and Sri Lanka, we have very minimal, the trade between the two countries. Though we have signed bilateral trade agreement way back in 1979, that we need to develop into a more robust and a timely agreement between the two countries. I think now that agreement is little old and out of the time. So we need to understand the current challenges and the current trends in the market, and maybe change this agreement to suit to the current, the present environment between the trade between the two countries. The other thing is that we must focus on the new markets, such as the agriculture area, where Nepal and Sri Lanka is, we both consider ourselves as agriculture, social economic countries. So the agriculture products, such as the Nepal is having your grains and honey and your wool and all that, which can be exported to Sri Lanka. And Sri Lanka is can see the markets of especially in the seafood, where Nepal is a landlocked country and Sri Lanka being an island, where we have a lot of seafood available, where we see the new markets in this country into the seafood area. And also we could see that as you correctly said about the investment summit, and we wish Nepal all the very best in the coming years for developing into the investment prone country in the world. And in Sri Lankan delegation also participated into this, and I was also there. And we see there's a lot of potential for Nepal, for the foreigners to come and invest. And I hope that the connectivity and the cultural backgrounds what we are sharing between the two countries, this will step into a new dimension of trade related activities between the two countries.
Has Sri Lanka already started doing some kind of collaborations?
Yeah, in tourist promotions, even our honorable president, honorable minister, who when he came for the joint commission, we have discussed about having a joint promotion of tourism in the world between Nepal and Sri Lanka, because Sri Lanka we have the beach, Nepal has the mountain. So why won't we connect that beach and mountain together, where the foreigners come, once they come into one country, can go into the other country as a common channel, common sequence of events. So then easy for the foreigner or the tourist to visit both the countries at one go. So that is one part that we are looking forward to working with it. And also on this we have now developed our relations between the two countries, travel trade, media and tourist and hospitality trade organizations to work together and to enhance tourism together in this field.
Religious and cultural relations has brought the people of both the countries together. The countries signed a cultural agreement in July 1999. It's a long time. How has the agreement helped to promote cultural interaction between the two countries through various types of social cultural exchange?
Yeah, you're absolutely right on that question. Though we have signed in 1999 of the cultural agreement, both countries have failed to take advantage of this agreement and to enhance our activities in cultural and religious cultural in that domain. So my endeavor is to see that the people-to-people connectivity is the most strongest. It's true that we have the religious connectivity, and a lot of Sri Lankans are visiting, and we are respecting Lumbini as the birthplace of Lord Buddha, and we have a very strong bond and a respect for that place. And there's so much of religious tourism is happening to this country. So that also can be marketed in a way where these religious days can be, in both countries can celebrate these common days together in one platform. Maybe the birth of Lord Buddha, Buddha Purnima Day can be organized here in Lumbini, and a lot of tourist Sri Lankans can come in a large way. And also you have already established international airport there. Maybe in the future there can be direct connectivity between Sri Lanka and Nepal through that. For the enhancement of cultural tourism in this country. And also, if you take the other party, this agreement is not focused only on the religious part. It has its music, sports, arts, media. So many lines have been covered in this agreement. So that's why I said we both countries have failed to take advantage of it. So there can be a lot of other like art exhibitions can happen in two countries, media. We have already started in a small way by sending a media team to Sri Lanka about 2 weeks back and trying to promote Sri Lanka in Nepal. The same way it can happen in the other way around, where the Sri Lankan media also can come to Nepal and establish this. And not only that, like programs like this, there is a clause in the agreement to say that the small programs and media documentaries can be exchanged between the two countries. So those are the areas that we need to look more and to see where I can progress more in the cultural agreement area.
What can Nepal learn from the better practices of Sri Lanka and vice versa?
Okay, it's a very interesting question. Better practices, Sri Lanka, we have, it's always good to learn from friends, so that we don't make mistakes, then you can learn from your friend, it's easy. One thing is the economic, revival of Sri Lanka after our, challenges what we faced about 2 years back. So that is one area where Nepal can, look into and to get some, ideas from us about the fiscal management and how exactly how we manage in our economic meltdown when we had these severe challenges. One other area could be our free education system where we give education to our youth from grade 1 till university is absolutely free. And therefore, how to motivate and how to develop our younger generation by giving this free education. And another other point is like, how we promote and showcase Sri Lanka in the tourist trade. It's also unique in one way that how we do it, and the results we can see. That is one way that Nepal can learn from Sri Lanka, how we develop our tourism and the connectivity, the road networking and the hotels, and where exactly these advantages where you all can pick from Sri Lanka. So there are few things that we can, our good practices can be like even our free health system, those areas can be looked by the Nepali side and learn. And the other side, what are the practices that I would like to get from Nepal to Sri Lanka is one thing that I am very interested about your community forest management system where you give a forest to the community and they are looking after it. It's a beautiful program where we also can learn from Nepal about those lines, and your micro financing systems, for poverty elevation given in Nepal is also a very unique system where I am very interested about learning more and to get those ideas to Sri Lanka. So I mean there are so many things. Even the your drafting of your constitution after a conflict. How you include the combatants into the national system, and we also had past experience where we also can get a lot of ideas from your reconciliation and rehabilitation of your system after conflict. We also coming after conflict, but two different ways. But there are so many common things where we can learn from each other.
Lumbini, the birthplace of Shakyamuni Buddha, has been one of the holiest destination for the Buddhists around the world and has been attracting many Buddhist pilgrims from Sri Lanka every year. How do you make the possibilities to make Nepal for Sri Lankan people as the hub for cultural tourism?
Yeah, so Nepal itself is a hub for Sri Lanka because of the unique place Lumbini where the Lord Buddha was born. It is already there in our hearts and minds, but we can do it much more. Not only Lumbini, I know that in Nepal there are so many other Buddhist places, very very important and sacred places all around Nepal. It's hidden and people are not knowing those places. So it is time. I have briefed this to Lumbini Development Trust and also your tourist board officials. When I met them, I told them that they need to come up with some sort of a propaganda mechanism to see there are not only Lumbini, there are so many other places where the the Buddhist pilgrimage can visit. And also to do this in native languages, because most of the Buddhist tourists who come may not conversant in English very much, but it's nice to do it in their native language, some programs to promote the Buddhist circuit within Nepal. And also then you need to have your communication network established, the transportation or maybe domestic aviation, that that system has to run, because people come for a very limited period and they want to see so many places. And then if you go one step further, then enhancing the Lumbini facilities like the hotels and easy access for the Buddhist tourists to come in, maybe the easy visa process. So many things that the Nepal can do to promote Nepal as a cultural hub, and especially focusing on the Buddhist tourism.
A year of mass protests, economic crisis, political stabilities, and many things happened all together. How is Sri Lanka coping up with everything all together?
Yeah, it's a very challenging time for Sri Lanka. You know what we had to face. We, after the situation, His Excellency the President, Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe, he took over the power of the government, and he took some very unorthodox decisions to balance our fiscal management in Sri Lanka. They are not very popular, but very effective things, and we needed for a country to come out of that danger zone. Like increasing the taxes, reducing unwanted expenditure, and management of the central bank independently, and controlling the foreign exchange expenditure. So many decisions were taken by the government within a period which helped Sri Lanka to stabilize first and to come out, and also then going into IMF and getting the loan to establish our economic meltdown at that time, and also talking to our regional partners, regional friends, especially India and also Bangladesh, and asking help, and they are coming with open hands to help us out to come out of that situation is commendable. So it's not only financial management; it's managing the international forums also to support Sri Lanka to come out of this situation, and also to have dialogue with the creditors, and to have this debt restructuring program is also something that resulted of us coming out of the danger zone. So now we are okay. Now we are coming up on the economic side, but we have to have our patience to see that country is coming as expected by all Sri Lankans.
How can both the countries promote the scope of cultural and educational exchange between two countries?
It's very important that people to people understanding about both countries, and it's in that our cultural exchange agreement also that there is a way that we can have a lot of scholarships between both countries to promote each other in educational and various other fields in art, music, or even research and development. All those areas where we can have the students can travel between the two countries and to have these programs running. Not only that, now the world is in a different level. You don't need to travel to another country. You have IT. You can be online. You can have connectivity through social media or online to do research and development projects. So those are the areas actually I am looking into develop to enhance this type of understanding with the young generation between the two countries. And of course, Sri Lanka is giving so much of a scholarship for the Buddhist priest to go to Sri Lanka and to learn the religion and come back to Nepal, and that is also happening. That also enhancing our cultural understanding between the two countries. And going one step further is that through the IT platforms, through visual media, we are trying to improve our connectivity.
Would you like to say a few words about the huge number of youths, either for work or studies, are going abroad? How do you see from the eye of Sri Lanka?
It's a common challenge for both the countries, from Sri Lanka and Nepal. A lot of young generation, they want to migrate for better life, for better prospects of life. I think it has two ways of looking at it. One is the advantages where you can straight away say that they are going into their better life and they are earning foreign currency and they will be sending that currency back into the our countries, which will improve our foreign exchange and also strengthening our rupee in that way. And also there's a social support from the person who is going is giving to the family, so that family is also coming up in their social status, and once they go into another country they will learn more better skills, maybe a better way of understanding about the life. So there are so many advantages where we can straight away see once we see that the young generation moving out of the country. But there are disadvantages also coming in this challenge, is that our brain drain, our best brains are going out of the country. So where they should be working for the country, for the development of the country. So that immediately you have a problem of sending the good people out of the country and going. And also initially I said they are sending money and all that is true, but it's all depend on various other international factors. So if some problem happens in one part of the world, it will immediately effect of sending money to this country or to Sri Lanka. So we can't depend solely, or we can have 100% assurance that that money is going to come to our country. So that way, it's a two-way, two-edged sword sort of thing. And also there are one way is that money will come into our the country, and the social development will happen within the family. And the other way, since this person is out, there's social problems will also come into this family because one partner is not there. So there's so much of ups and downs in this system. So if I personally think the best way is to keep them here. But it is not that we can just ask them to stay back. We have to give them some incentives. We have to give them a better opportunities to build their life. So those are the things that as a country that we should do. And if you want to keep this young generation going out.
What are some of the challenges you face as a role as an ambassador, and how do you navigate them?
Challenges are always there in life, wherever you are. So as the ambassador also, you get your challenges once you accept this role. The first what can come into my mind is to maintain our bilateral relationships in this ever-changing world, environment. That geography of the world environment is so changing, so diverse, and the whole world, whatever it happens, any part of the world is going to affect all of us. So to navigate that, that first challenge, what I do is that I have a close contact with your foreign ministry and the officials and all the other government officials, where we continue with the dialogue and to understand, how to come into some sort of common understanding of the world challenges when it comes, to us in this region. And the other part is to maintain, as you initially also you asked me the question of trade. Balancing of the trade. It's important that we have the human-to-human contact, and also to have this economic, prospects going between the two countries, which is having other challenges influencing, you being a landlocked country and we as as an island. So we have advantages and disadvantages both sides. So how to navigate that? So we have our commerce departments and associations working together to come out of these things and to have a plan for the future. And the next is to see that the comfortable life for the Sri Lankans who are here and the visiting Buddhist pilgrims who are here, that whenever they have a problem, how to help them out. So to give them consular assistance and to see that their life is being comfortable, and whatever the purpose that they are here is being taken care of. So other than that, I must say that Nepal, I'm so glad that I'm in Nepal, because less challenges in one way, and the other thing is that they are so friendly and very warm-hearted people, so it's very easy for me to work with them.
Finally, what has been the most rewarding aspects of a tenure as ambassador to Nepal?
Okay, I think that it's too early to ask that question, because I'm only about 7 months. But
sure.
with these 7 months, as I said, managed to do the first joint commission here between the two countries. I think the idea came in 1996. From 1996, we could not do this joint commission until last year, December. So that itself is giving me a lot of hope and the power and the energy for me to work between the two countries for strengthening the bilateral relationships and coming together in international and regional forums as a strategic partner, respecting each other and to work for the betterment of the world and the peace.
Your Excellency, thank you so much for your time. It has been wonderful talking to you.
And thank you very much, and once again, thank you for Himalayan TV for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Aibo.
Info Plus for genuine information.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was His Excellency, the Ambassador of Sri Lanka to Nepal. Thank you and Bohuma Istuthe to all the viewers from Sri Lanka for taking the time to join us for the show Info Plus on Himalayan Television. Thank you, Your Excellency, for joining us today and sharing your valuable perspectives, your insights into the diplomatic, economic, and cultural ties between Sri Lanka and Nepal have been enlightening and greatly appreciated. We look forward to continued collaboration and friendship between Sri Lanka and Nepal. Stay tuned for more engaging discussion right here. Namaste and thank you for watching.
Info Plus for genuine information.